coming up in today's video. Follow along as I celebrate the summer solstice with some sunny crafts, and join me for a cup of delicious midsummer honeysuckle tea. Midsummer is an enchanting time of year, one that I always enjoy spending dressed up in bright yellow, the colour of the sun, and many a favourite flower of mine. Sometimes I even imagine myself as a dancing sunflower, though let's not tell the neighbours. I think they've enough to wonder about with my constant rituals, talking to trees, birds, and, of course, the squirrels. As for sunflowers, I didn't manage to get any potted baby sunflowers this year, though perhaps it's for the best after last year's fiasco with the squirrels. My sunflowers! Well, looks like Mr. Squirrel's had a nice summer's feast. My garden has also been looking a little dreary. England's weather this year has been more unpredictable than usual. Many of the flowers here were ruined at Beltane, scorched by the sun before they were in their prime, and shortly after violently shaken by wind and rain. It has also been this way the past month or two. A glimmer of sun, and then a splash of rain, and oh so many grey clouds. Though I shan't complain. My favourite weather, after all, is overcast, and then also shimmery showers. However, it is midsummer, and I do appreciate a golden glow. So with the lack of real sunflowers, this year I'm adorning my garden with some mini sunflower garlands. In summertime, I like to add a bit more yellow into my surroundings. For me, the colour yellow evokes feelings of warmth, sunshine and cheerfulness, which really echo the mood of the season. When looking at the colour psychology of yellow, international colour specialist Litha Eisman has stated that psychologically, yellow is the strongest colour, and that it can induce a playful, happy, comedic mood. Speaking of moods, have you ever wondered why smileys or emoticons are yellow? The reason is that the colour yellow itself aids in the release of serotonin in the brain. This chemical acts as a mood stabiliser and is also known as a happy chemical. So why not add a bit more sunshine yellow to your life? With my garlands hung, it's now time to move on to my next activity. Today I'm going to be making a crown of St. John's wort to protect my garden from harm. For this, I first created a circular base from florist's wire and added a couple of strands of ivy before beginning to entwine my gathered flowers. St. John's wort is one of my favourite midsummer plants to work with. There is just so much fascinating lore behind it, and its vibrant yellow colour is so very uplifting and perfect for the season. At midsummer, I often gather St. John's wort for my midsummer fire, and also to drape across windows and front door to repel negative energies. St. John's wort comes in many varieties, and although common St. John's wort, the Hypericum perforatum, is what I use for most spell work, today I will be using two varieties which I love for their gorgeous large sunny flower heads. First, I twined into my circlet the Hypericum headcoat, which is a popular favourite for garden hedges in my area. There's something very grandiose about it. It reminds me of knockout roses and feels like a flower fit for royalty, or tea with the Queen. The other St. John's wort I chose was the Hypericum calicinum. This variety of the wort is commonly used as an ornamental shrub due to its large, bright yellow flower heads. It's a very joyous plant and known as the Rose of Shannon in Britain. Though often grown for its beauty, it's also been used as a herbal remedy, traditionally to relieve muscle spasms and for the treatment of asthma, which makes for a stronger and healthier body. This species is also resilient in many soil types, and so will lend its strength to this midsummer crown protection spell. What a beauty! With crown complete, it's time to begin the spell. Having completed the spell, I had a little snacky snack, a lovely Solstice sun tart of my own creation, and then returned to my garden in a more comfortable outfit, ready to begin my summer crafts. Having eaten my Solstice sun tart, I was all refreshed with a burst of sunshine energy, and so I began to paint my Solstice sun log. This is a little project of mine that I've had in mind for a couple of years. I originally found this log in the woods during the pandemic, but never got round to its actual creation. I began by painting the background yellow for the light of the sun. Studies have shown that yellow can aid in waking up your brain, revitalizing and enhancing concentration. It also increases activity in the left brain, which is responsible for rational and analytical thinking. Having a yellow-colored item like this one in your surroundings can also activate our thinking processes and generate new ideas, making us more creative. When working on projects or preparing for exams, having a yellow-colored object near you can make you more analytical and creative, aiding to the creation of solutions to challenges. Yellow is often used in our lives to make us pause and take note in our surroundings. Traffic lights and hazardous warnings are often yellow for this reason. Using a yellow highlighter for notes is also best for memory, and I believe a yellow object like this one in the garden or at home can aid in mindfulness. I of course decided to paint on my log a sun in soul-warming shades of yellow and pink. I love the pink sunsets we often see in the UK. They're so very romantic and so warming to my heart. I didn't have the joy of seeing so many a rosy sunset whilst I stayed in China, so a splash of pink on this project was a must for me. Though the sun often appears to our human eyes on Earth to be shades of yellow and orange, it is actually a mixture of all wavelengths of visible spectrum, and so from outer space we see it to be white. The higher wavelengths of the colours are scattered less easily by Earth's atmosphere, so are left behind intensely for us to see. I think this all adds to the beauty of the sun we see from Earth. Contemplating this brings me more appreciation for both our sun and beloved home, Earth. Beneath my sun, I wrote one of my favourite kennings, Hawthorn candle, which is a metaphorical compound noun used in Old English poetry to refer to the sun. I've always thought how beautiful it was to describe the sun as the candle of heaven, an image I love to meditate upon with a chant I created by the same name, which hopefully I will one day share. With log complete, I felt it time for some honeysuckle tea. For this, I gave some dry blossoms a quick rinse in cool water, making sure not to soak them too much as to prevent the loss of nectar from inside the flower. Next, I placed the herb into my cute little teapot and poured in some room temperature water. I then melted a little honey in warm water and added it to my pot. A quick note here. It'd be best to add the honey in later if leaving in the sun, but since I'll be gently heating the tea in a short while anyway, I just decided to add it in here. I then placed the pot on top of my sunlog in a sunny spot to soak in the sun as I began my midsummer crafts. Last year's little midsummer fairy has been a lovely companion to me the past year, bringing me much pleasure and luck. Today I've decided to create a little musical instrument for this fairy to bring me more musical inspiration. I decided to make her a harp out of mistletoe stalk, as it's always seemed like a very beautiful, angelic instrument to me, one that represents sacred music knowledge and growth. I added a piece of mistletoe to the head of the harp to protect my music. And 3 blossoms of honeysuckle for continued musical joy and abundance. Now for a spot of reading and an appreciation for these old vintage illustrations. I have quite a collection of old vintage books at home. I not only love their aesthetic, but a physical copy of a book always feels more real. There's something about the earthy scent of these pages that makes them more charming and full of life. Here we have the honeysuckle, in my favourite midsummer colours, pink and yellow. One of the magical plants that I have growing in both my front and back garden. The pink variety in the back and the sunny yellow variety in front. The honeysuckle is a wonderful flower to use in protection spells, to attract money, or to heighten psychic powers. I recently visited Anne Hathaway's cottage in the village of Shottery, where I picked up this sweet little stone. That's Shakespeare's wife, Anne Hathaway, not the Princess Diaries actress, of course. It was a beautiful summer's day, though it did rain a little, but such a lovely little place for a midsummer's trip, with an interesting story to tell, though that shall have to be for another day. The gardens were so very enchanting, with many different species of plants, including the honeysuckle, which I am painting onto this little stone, to infuse all my midsummer memories of this splendid little trip. Now time to heat and enjoy our midsummer honeysuckle tea. Honeysuckle tea is perfect for a midsummer libation. In Chinese medicine, honeysuckle flowers are classified as sweet and cold, and have been a long traditional remedy for cooling hot, inflamed conditions, such as the common cold, with symptoms such as fever and thirst. It is also often used to treat sunstroke, which makes it the ideal refreshment for a hot midsummer's day. It's especially lovely as an iced tea. However, it's not the hottest midsummer's day here in England, so a nice warm tea is where it's at for me. Due to its lung-supporting benefits, traditional Eastern herbalism recommends using the herb for upper respiratory tract infections, and so those with asthma often use honeysuckle to soothe and clear the airways. This herbal tea is also often drunk for balancing and detoxifying the body, and may support a healthy immune system by fighting bacteria and viruses. With all these benefits, it's been the perfect tea to end this midsummer's dream. Fair flower, that dost so comely grow, hid in this silent, dull retreat, untouched thy honey blossoms blow, unseen thy little branches greet. No roving foot shall crush thee here, no busy hand provoke a tear. Thank you for joining along with me on today's journey. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe and comment for more content. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!